Wow. Listeners, are you seeing this herd of bison? They are so huge.
They are?
Ah, who are you?
Don't you remember me?
Yes. I do. You just startled me.
I have that effect.
So, you see the bison, and you know about them?
I do. They are North America's largest mammal, weighing up to 2,000 pounds.
That's a ton. I mean, quite literally.
Yeah. And did you know their tails let you know how they're feeling? If they swish their tails, they're probably calm. But once their tails go straight up, watch out because they might charge.
Whoa, you mean like that one right there?
Run!
Okay. I'm in the car. I don't know where our guest went, but I'm going to sit here and tell you some things that I read about bison here in the park. First of all, they're bison, not buffalo. And bison are the largest mammal in North America. As you heard, up to 2,000 pounds. That is literally a ton. A ton is 2,000 pounds. And they're also our nation's mammal, the national mammal. When people think of the United States of America, they're going to think of the bald eagle and pretty soon thereafter, probably the bison, because they're native here. Now, when those little bisons are born, do you know what they're called? They're called red dogs. A baby bison is a red dog. It's not a dog, it's just the name. But they're called red dogs. I don't actually know where the dog part came from, but the red part is because they're kind of orangey red rust colored. I don't know about the dog. Maybe because they were smaller, they looked more like a dog? Anyway, that's their nickname for a baby bison. And early on the scene in the United States were Native Americans who utilized bison well. I think well because they were conservationists before that was even a term. When they killed a bison, they used so much of it. They used it for food. They used it for clothing. They even used bison for fuel, tools, shelter. They could get so much from one animal. The word that we use to describe when something is used to its maximum potential, or nearly it, is called being efficient. Bison were used efficiently by Native Americans, which I really appreciate, and I wish our modern world did more of. If you can remember back about 4 years ago, there was a scare about a certain something going around, and people went crazy and bought all the toilet paper. Not very conservationalist minded. It was also stated that you can tell a lot by a bison based on its tail. If it's swishing back and forth and it looks kind of happy, it probably is. Still, keep a distance. If you ever see a bison, keep a distance. If, however, its tail goes straight up, back up, because it might charge. If you're ever in Yellowstone National Park, stay in the car. There are deaths each year because people don't listen. They get out of their car, they approach these beasts, they're wild animals, and there are consequences. It is sad, but when people disobey the rules of the park, there are consequences. So if you're ever in a park and there are bison, stay in the vehicle. One thing that I think lures people to get out of their car is because they look cuddly, cozy, and a little bit cumbersome, honestly, if we're going to continue with the alliteration. Cozy, cuddly, cumbersome. But they are not. Bison are fast. They can run about 35 miles per hour. That's faster than Usain Bolt, just so you know. They're also agile. They can jump high. They can spin around quickly. And they can even swim well. Even though they look large and docile, they're large and nimble, and speedy, and faster than you or me. Bison forage. They forage. That means they're going out. It kind of sounds like the word forest, so it's like they're going out to get food for 9 to 11 hours every day, while you might be eating for a total of 45 minutes or an hour and a half a day. They are eating a lot longer than you are, 9 to 11 hours a day.
But wait, Moosejaw Matt. Don't bison live in places where it gets cold and it snows? Yeah, I've seen pictures, Moosejaw Matt, where bison are in snow.
You are correct. They live in some very cold places. Yellowstone can have a lot of snow for much of the year. So, if bison eat grass and other things, how are they going to get to it if there's snow? Well, I'm glad you asked, because you know how large their necks and heads are? They use those. They swing them back and forth, and they pretty much plow away the snow, clear a patch, and then eat there. So they're using those massive neck, head, and shoulder muscles to force away the snow. And if you've ever seen them do this in a video or in real life, they do it effortlessly. They plow aside lots of snow as if it's nothing, because they're so big and so powerful, and then they chomp on this little bit of grass. Did you know that Teddy Roosevelt had abs? Yep. I'm not talking about abdominal muscles or anti-lock brake system. I don't think that they had the anti-lock brake system back then. But I'm talking about ABS, American Bison Society. He actually helped form it. And he did this because he wanted to help save them from extinction. Bison numbers decreased greatly, and there was a real serious threat that they might become extinct. By forming the American Bison Society, it was his effort, along with many others, to help rejuvenate those numbers, and they've kind of been a success story. They are doing much better, so well that they are in all 50 states. And if I look at a range map properly, they're even down into Mexico and up into Alaska. It's pretty incredible what kind of range they can have. They can live up to 20 years old, which means I would have died twice. And they also do something else. They roll around in dirt. Listeners, think about it. Why would bison roll around in dirt? It's because they don't want to take a bath. Mommy, I am not taking my bath.
Oh, yes you are. It's going to be a dust bath.
No. Bison have poor eyesight, but fortunately they have glasses. No, that's not true. But they can make up for their lack of eyesight. Not by going to the eye doctor, but by smelling really well. We're not talking about the way they smell, as in what we smell from their smell. I'm talking about the way they smell with their sniffer nose. It's so complicated sometimes. Bison can also hear well. And you know, they communicate like another animal we heard recently. Another mammal. They communicate with pig-like grunts. Not the exact same as pigs, but in a similar sort of fashion. I think it's time for a quiz. Are you ready? Let's get started. Question number 1. The bison lives on which continent? Europe, Asia, North America, or South America? The answer is Australia. No, that's not true. North America. They are native to North America. Question number 2. What is one thing they use their large heads and muscular necks and shoulders for? Is it A, to get tacos, B, to plow through snow so they can eat grass, C, to plow through tacos so they can get to grass, D, so they can plow through tacos to get to people? The answer is so they can plow through snow to get to grass. They might have other uses, but that's one of them. Question number 3. True or false? Bison are the second largest mammal in North America. Is that true or is that false? The answer is false. That means it's incorrect. Bison are the largest mammal in North America. Question number 4. Where's the only place in the United States where bison have continuously lived for many, many years? And that would be Yellowstone National Park. Question number 5. What part of the bison lets you know how it's feeling? Is it the ears? Is it the hooves? Is it their eyes? Is it their text messaging on their cell phones? Nope, it's their tails. If the tail is down and swishing, still don't approach it, but they're probably content and happy. If the tails are up, watch out. Definitely stay in your vehicle because they might charge. Listeners, I hope you've learned something new about bison, and if it's not new, I hope it was still enjoyable to review. I've had fun, and I appreciate the bison even more than I did before. For now, I guess I'll be like a moose among bison. I'm Moosejaw Matt. Until next time, bye, son. Keep exploring your world.
So cringy. Okay. They are. Don't you remember me? I have that effect. I do. They are North America's largest mammal, weighing up to 2,000 pounds.